This will be a quick video just to make sure y'all understand the acceleration versus time graph. It's not very difficult. There's really only one thing you need to know, and that is that if you have an acceleration versus time graph, first of all, the acceleration it can be positive or negative still. The main thing you need to know is that the area between the curve and the 0, 0 point is the change in velocity. Alright? So change in velocity is acceleration times time, and the area under that curve is the acceleration. It is important to note that the acceleration can be positive or negative, so let's take a look at that real quickly, how that would work. So if this is our graph, this is a nice graph here. We've got acceleration and we've got time. Let's see if we can identify what's happening in this graph. Okay, so we're going to have an acceleration here. It's going to drop down. It's going to go along the 0, 0 line, and then it's going to drop under. Okay, so let's see if we can tell what's happening. In this first section, we have a positive acceleration. Okay, first section we have a positive acceleration, which should mean, we really can't tell what that means unless we have a graph to compare it to. Alright, it could mean that we're speeding up, right? So it could mean that we are speeding up if we start off like this. If this is our velocity versus time graph, if we start off like that, they would be speeding up, right? But remember that you can have a positive acceleration if you're slowing something down in the negative direction. So remember that if we had this, right, that's also a positive acceleration. Notice how the slopes are the same, right? Both of those are positive accelerations. One is speeding it up in the positive direction, and one is slowing it down in the negative direction. All right? So we really can't tell what's going on there. All we can really say is that it's got to be a positive slope. Positive slope on the velocity versus time graph. All right, let's make an assumption. Let's just say that on the velocity versus time graph, we're going to start off with a positive velocity. So the velocity versus time graph would look like this. In this section right here, what's happening? Well, right there what we know is we're holding steady at a constant velocity. Right? There is no acceleration, so we're holding steady at a constant velocity. And then what happens here? Well, in that third section, we have a negative acceleration, so we know that we're going to have to drop back down. We're going to slow down the graph. Okay, so on the, we're going to slow back down to 0. Notice that we never go backwards. All right, this whole time we are going forwards, right? It's all positive velocity, so we're always going forwards. We speed up, we go constant speed, then we slow down. All right, we're always moving forwards. So the distance versus time graph, or the position versus time graph, would look like this. We would have a curve, then a straight line, and then a curve to slow it down, right? A backward curve. So we've got a positive curve to right there, constant speed to right there, and then a negative curve to indicate that it's slowing down. All right? Okay, so this is good stuff to remember, acceleration versus time. All right, make sure that y'all have that down. Please let me know if you have any questions.